Well, right now, 3 Metro softball players and an advocacy group are suing Minnesota's Attorney General and other leaders over the state's policy that allows transgender athletes to play on girls' teams. Raya Katene spoke to people on both sides of this issue tonight and joins us with the latest. Raya?
Julie, this lawsuit follows a recent executive order by President Trump banning transgender athletes from women's and girls' sports, which prompted Minnesota's Attorney General to then sue the Trump administration. It also follows a federal investigation into the Minnesota State High School League, which allows transgender athletes to play on teams that match their gender identity, something the state has allowed for more than 10 years now and has defended under the Minnesota Human Rights Act. After more than a decade of transgender athletes in Minnesota schools joining teams that match their gender identity, a new lawsuit alleges the state isn't providing girls with a level playing field. Female Athletes United, an advocacy group based in Texas, is representing 3 female Minnesota high school softball players who say the state's current law is unfair, unsafe, and violates Title IX, a federal law that prohibits discrimination in educational activities based on sex.
I'm sorry that it had to happen that way, that the lawsuit had to be filed, but girls' sports are for girls, are for biological girls.
Republican Representative Peggy Scott introduced a bill this legislative session that would have banned transgender athletes from participating in girls' sports.
Had that passed and become law, we wouldn't be in the place that we are. There would not have been a lawsuit filed because we would have been abiding by the law.
That has nothing to do with the safety or freedom of girls. Trans girls are girls. They have been playing sports in Minnesota for a decade. There has been no problem.
DFL Representative Lee Finke was elected in 2022 as the state's first openly transgender lawmaker.
It's very disturbing to see someone who is successful and then told, because of your success, you are a threat. There is always inherent threat and risk when playing sports. It has nothing to do with whether or not someone is trans.
Attorney General Keith Ellison, listed as the first defendant in the lawsuit, says he will continue to defend the rights of all students to play sports with their friends and peers, as lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say this case could end up before the Supreme Court. One of the schools spotlighted in the lawsuit is Champlin Park High School, and tonight the Anoka-Hennepin School District tells me all of the athletes on that softball team are eligible to compete in compliance with state law. I am waiting to hear back from the other districts, Osseo and Farmington, with their response to the lawsuit. Julie.
All right, thank you, Raya.